a humongous opaleye. Hey everyone, it is a little, probably like 5:45 right now. Just got into my dive buddy Kay's car. He's packing up the stuff, packed up my stuff over there. Again, we are going for halibut and opaleye. Those are the two target species I signed up for. There's the overall jackpot as well, but that's probably not going to happen. Just focusing on those two. We're going to head up to Redondo area, hopefully to snag a halibut, and then dive PV Palos Verdes soon after that. But just follow along. Hope you enjoy the journey. I hope by the end of this video that I'm recording a solid win in both categories. But until then, stick around nice and early, and yeah, let's go snag some fish. Alright everyone, we are at the first spot. Conditions are looking not great. There's a guy surfing out there at the moment. Usually not a good sign. Usually if it's a good day for surfing, it's not a good day for spearfishing. Today is not one of those I have a choice days, or not much of a choice. It's still, I would say waves are about 1.5 to 2 feet, and let's go get some fish. So I'm not sure if you could tell, but I am not excited to get into the water at all. It's because of the tournament that I am actually getting into the water. 9 times out of 10, I would not dive these conditions. Firstly, because the surf is kind of high and the surge is really rough. It's kind of easy to see in this video. On the left-hand side, if you focus on the jetty rocks, how hard those waves are hitting those rocks are a good indicator of pretty much not a good day for shore diving. And on top of that, the water is very, very milky, so the visibility is probably going to be not too great. And the cherry on top for this spot was that I'm trying a brand new GoPro 10 that I got for the channel, and it pooped out on me after the initial entry. So this problem, I thought I fixed it later, but it becomes an issue later, and I'll explain when. But yeah, not that there was much footage to share. Visibility was very, very poor, 5 feet or less. Surge was very rough, and yeah, just really be careful when you're going out in these types of conditions. Firstly, I would not recommend it. Well, first, it's not worth it, and secondly, for safety. So yeah, so this spot was a total dud. I was hoping for some halibut, maybe some opaleye here, but primarily came here for halibut. Alright everyone, we wrapped up spot number 1. No fish. Visibility was not as great as I had hoped. Actually, my hopes weren't that high, to be honest, with all that surf, but visibility was about 5 feet or less. Surf 2 feet plus maybe. Surge was pretty heavy, so it was pretty rough out there. I had some new issues with the GoPro, with a new GoPro I'm trying out in the water, so not much underwater footage, not that there's much to share, but we're going off to spot number 2 in Palos Verdes. Hopefully we have a lot more luck there. But along the shore in SoCal, surf is not great. Not great for spearfishing today, but there's a tournament, so we have to try to catch some fish. Palos Verdes is, from what I see, my best bet in terms of surf. So hopefully, cross fingers, catch some fish there. See you guys in a bit. Alright everyone, we are at dive spot number 2. I picked up some snacks. I need a little boost of energy, and it is not looking good. The swells are a lot calmer here though compared to our first spot. But yeah, I don't know if you can see from here, but the water is extremely milky. Yeah, that kind of yellowish greenish texture that you see. Usually it's pretty clear up in the front and then it gets murkier out, but having it this murky that close to shore is usually a telltale sign of not being too hot out there. And look at these sets coming in. yeah, we still gotta go. We might check out a little further south on the small peninsula that is Palos Verdes, but yeah, it's not looking too hot, but wish us luck. Let's get in the water, or maybe a different spot. All right, quick update. We are at a second spot in Palos Verdes, just scoping things out. It looks a little better. Usually this spot is a bit more calm, but for today, this is really surgy compared to what we normally dive. On a day like today, I would typically not go out. I would be a little bit pickier just to make it worthwhile, but today is tournament day. It's a little different. But yeah, it looks like there's a couple other divers at the edge of the kelp where we usually fish. And yeah, we may check out one more spot and finalize things, but so far this is looking a lot better than compared to our first spot. So yeah, we'll let you know. All right, checking out a spot 3 in Palos Verdes. Still haven't dove yet in PV. The brand new spot. This area looks a lot calmer. You can see obviously we're packed up. It's K in the back. Surf looks much more usable here, but it's still, the water looks a little green. Looks promising, but a bit of a hike in my Crocs. Shore diving essentials. All right guys, we just got to spot number 3, brand new spot for me and my dive buddy Kay here. The spot looks really nice, a beautiful, beautiful cove. Southern section of Palos Verdes, so a bit different. We drove down for a little bit, but not too long, and it's crazy how there's such a contrast from the northern side of Palos Verdes and the southern side. So it's looking much more flat here, and I'm hoping that the conditions reflect the flatness. So let's get in the water. So you may have noticed I'm actually using a different spear gun. This is a 90 Pathos Open Pro. It's a dive buddy of mine and he let me borrow it for the day. It's a backup for my Pathos 85 Sniper Roller. I'm still having trouble with the trigger mechanism since the Mexico trip. I might just need to just buy a new mechanism at this point. But the conditions are so much better. Even though I didn't dive the other spots, I already can tell that this place was way better. Visibility was still about, I would say, 8 to 10 feet roughly, but so much usable than the other spots. Thank goodness it was just an Opaleye I was going for. A pretty decent sized one at that, but right there, just make sure your gun is off safe if you intend on shooting some fish. This time around, the spear gun is off safety, and I intend to get my first entry into an Opaleye or the halibut pots. And I head down. There's a nice little grouping of Opaleye right here. I line up. Take the shot. Feeling good. Got my first fish of the tournament. I look at it as it's squirming around, and I notice it's not a great shot, so I was worried it was going to rip off, so I head down, I try to secure it with my hand, I grab it, and then I bring it to the surface. So you can see here that this spot is still pretty murky, but it's still usable. And what I mean by that is within 5 feet or so, maybe a little bit more beyond, you can still make out rocks and shapes, and especially fish. So I landed on this portion where there's a good amount of sand, and I keep looking back and I check for eyes in the sand. It looks like maybe a good halibut spot. Wishing this one was of legal size, but you can see on the bottom left, little baby halibut swims right up to me, twitch a little bit, and he's gone. And at this point in the dive, it should have been the most epic footage of my spear fishing career, especially shore diving in SoCal. By far would have been the best. This is when I shoot my white sea bass at PV, my first one ever, and of course it's on tournament day. Just the planets have aligned, and I was so excited to see the footage. But during this time, again, I was using a GoPro 10 Black that I just got first day on the dive, and it did a factory reset like halfway through the dive, so I missed actually some footage of some Opaleye and some other things that I got, or I thought I got, and I was just so bummed I didn't get that shot on camera. I thought I had. The story pretty much goes, I was in about 15 or so feet of water, and I saw a school of barracuda swimming by, and I thought, great time for B-roll. So I rolled the camera. I thought I was at the time. I'm just watching them swim by, and then I see this torpedo of a head following along with them, and it swims right under me. And I line up a shot straight through the head. I don't brain it, but I get a really good shot off, but I don't know at the time. It takes a ton of line. It spools about half of my spool, and at a certain point it loosens up, and at that point my heart sank because I thought I lost it. I thought it ripped off or something. But I swim, I leave the gun with my dive buddy K, call him over, and I actually swim over and I look at the fish, swim down. I see that it got tangled at the bottom of a kelp. This shot is a great shot. It barely went through. This is a Pathos 90 Open Pro, not a big gun. But it barely went through. The flopper is out, and there's no way this fish is coming out. So I dive down, I grab it by the gills. It's kicking around. I'm actually hugging it at this point because I just don't want to let it go. I actually grab my knife. It's in my hand at the time, my right hand. I brain it, and then now I know it's secure. I swim to the surface. I leave the fish down there, and then I work out the logistics of untangling this mess that this fish created, and now I get to celebrate outside of the water.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
So I met these younger divers out on the water. They saw me catch the fish, and they actually waited on shore until I got back so they can take a picture and take a look at it. But it's really cool to see younger divers just out there having fun. And yeah, just to get to see a fish like this, especially my first one, was a special moment for sure. So yes, you are seeing this in the correct order. I actually did go back out after I showed the younger divers the fish. The white sea bass is on my stringer, and I'm out there trying to catch some more fish for the OC Classic Spearfishing tournament. I know this is not ideal for a lot of people, including myself, most of the time. Putting a fish back on the stringer and swimming back out there, especially one this large, with some predators that you know are out there. And but I was just really determined to catch some fish for this tournament. We only had an hour or so left of diving, so I thought it'd be worth it. So I went out there. Didn't end up catching anything else, but totally happy with my first ever white sea bass. Check that out.
Thank you, Frank, for the loaner. My gun had some issues. Thank goodness I had this one. Whew. I'm gonna bring this to the tournament, and hopefully I play somewhere. Mainly went for Opaleye, caught a little guy. It's not even worth showing with this guy around. But yeah, dude, this is so awesome. Let's go. How pretty that is. So I shot it right there, or I shot it somewhere near here, and didn't brain it, but brained it with the knife, secured it, and then all right, everyone, we are on the way to Spear America. It is, our ETA is 4:42. The cutoff is at 5. And if you know OC LA traffic, that is not reassuring, but I think we can make it on time. We forgot our kill bag, so we went back to Kay's house and got the kill bag, filled it with some ice, put the white sea bass in there with some of the opaleye, and hoping might rank. It went from, this tournament went from, I'm probably not gonna win it and I'm okay with that, to maybe ranking or being on the podium potentially. We'll see, but it's looking promising. Super stoked. But Dive Buddy K is driving, Dive Buddy, and we have our special guests. Anna's here. We're gonna go spearfishing, or Spear America, and hopefully we can podium there.
You can't add weight.
It is 5 o'clock. That means all the entries have to be in. We have a tuna out there, decent size. Check-in's closed.
And we have raffle items over here. If you guys don't know, this is the in-person raffle today.
Hope to win this one.
What's your name? Will. Hayes. Hayes. H-A-I-D. I-D-A-D.
What area? Oh no, go ahead. I was just waiting.
That's gutted and gilled, or gutted and bled rather.
What is it?
11.
Solid.
about 20, 21 points.
Hang on. There you go.
Congratulations.
And where did you get that at? Wait.
Good job, man.
Nice job.
You haven't won first yet.
So here we are getting ready to weigh my second fish, which is an opaleye. Just so everyone knows, for this particular tournament, to win the overall jackpot, it's very beneficial to have 3 different types of species of fish, regardless of what those are. So in this case, for mine, it's just a white sea bass and an opaleye, even though I had 2 opaleyes. If you have 3 species, that counts to your overall jackpot. So even if I had, just say like a sardine, it's an automatic single point for the unique species of fish, and then additional points based on weight and all that. So just because you have the largest fish doesn't necessarily mean you win the entire tournament. And you'll see that later, this is actually pretty crucial to the standings.
2 bigger runner-up fish.
Third place winner with a cash purse of $250 goes to Will Haig, 15 points. Marshall and Will tied in points, but Will had the largest fish on the stringer on that 9-pound Dorado. All right, on second place with a purse of $500, Sam Chun with 24 points. Let's go!
How much money did second get?
Second place, $500. And first place, $1,000. Very nice. Andrew Spath. Congratulations, Andrew.
Very nice.
Is my hair good? Over here. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Get up there, get up there. You want this too?
Sure.
Give a big round of applause, everybody.
Nice. Wait, hold on a second. You're grabbing the grab spot.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you. You guys real quick. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so we're grabbing
If you guys checked out some of this gear right here, we have an online raffle happening that you probably know about. Go to our webpage, OCSpearos.org, go to the events page, the OC raffle page, and you can sign up to win any of these items. We're going to have a drawing here on September the 15th, and hope you win. So, September 15th. Congratulations again.
Alright guys, I just got back from the tournament, won second place at my first ever spearfishing tournament, got super lucky with the white sea bass. If you see by the points, I lost by 2 points. I had 24 points first place, got 26 with a beautiful tuna. But if I caught another species, I potentially could have taken first because an additional species at least 1 point, so it puts me at 25. And maybe if I get some points here and there, but potentially could have won first. But nevertheless, I am so happy with second. I was going into this, if you can see from the beginning of the video, with not even placing anywhere on the podium, which I was happy with. I was just going for that Opaleye and Halibut purse. But the white sea bass I had was 44.3 pounds was the official weight, and just measured at 4 foot almost 6 inches. It was like 4 or 5.5 inches. But yeah, second place, my first ever spearfishing tournament. So happy with this. Thank you OC Spearos with the OC Classic. It happens every year. It's always really fun. Even if you don't fish, swing along. There's raffle prizes, food, hang out with other people. But yeah, super excited. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for everyone that supported me thus far in catching my first ever white sea bass that I've been trying to hunt for years. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.